Well, hello everybody. It's Erica and it is day one of Mermaid. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing good. And hello if you're new here and you're here because, of Mermaid. Typically I don't do a video every day, but I will be doing a video every day this month for Mermaid. Normally I usually only put out a video every Thursday, but I love mermaids, so yep, I'll be doing one of these every day. Hopefully I won't get too far behind. I'm going to be a little bit late, I'm sure, getting this one up today. Um, Maybe using a medium I'm not really familiar with wasn't the best idea for doing this for Mermaid for a challenge and trying to do something every day, but maybe, it's a good idea. It'll hopefully, maybe I'll learn to work a little faster with watercolors because I can say I'm not very fast using just watercolors. That's a big thing. I will say that markers dry faster. So I decided to not do so much detail with these, even though I did a lot of detail. I probably did more detail than I should have. This piece took a lot longer than I really expected it to. So yeah, I'm probably going to try and do less detail with these pieces, but when I do the line art for the pieces, I'll go ahead and take a little more time and add some different things in there. I'll put more detail into the digital art part of it than I will really into the traditional art part of it, just because I really am kind of trying to keep this to every day and I don't want to get behind. And I really would have liked to have done a lot more detail in this one and spent a lot more time working on it, but like I said, trying to get these done within a day, so not too detailed. But I'm hoping that maybe once I get a little more comfortable with using the watercolor, then it won't take as long, then maybe I will be able to be a little more detailed with them. So yeah. So this one I am doing the blue background there and, getting the paper kind of wet so that that blue spreads around a little more easily. And then I am also going to do that with the tail. I try to get the paper wet first whenever I use the watercolor, just so it's a little easier to work with the watercolor, but like I said, I'm not very experienced in it, so I'm not really sure if I'm doing it the right way or not. I should probably watch a few more videos maybe on how to use watercolor. I know there's a lot of them out there. Maybe I should sit down and watch some of those. I used to use a lot of acrylic paint to paint, and sometimes I feel like I'm trying to use watercolors in the same way I would use acrylic, but it doesn't really work out well that way. But I will say with these paints, compared to the Kuretake watercolors, because when I use the Kuretake watercolors, it lifts really easy when I put water and paint back over it. Like if I go over a color with a second layer, the layer underneath will get wet and it'll move around if I work it too much. So like these though, I noticed that they have a little bit, they don't do that as much. They have a little bit of a lift, but very little. It seemed like once the color dried really good, there was not much lift once I went over with another color. Like if I went in darker or something, it all stayed the same. Or if I went in with another color over it, it didn't seem to bleed together. So that was pretty nice with that. I do like that part of it because that's one of the reasons I like using the ink washes so much. When you paint with ink wash, when it goes down, it doesn't lift. It's down and that's it. You can put more ink over it and it'll get darker, but it won't ever get lighter. So that's one thing I like about that. And one other thing I did notice was that there was quite a bit of buckling with the paper. I did tape the edges, but I only taped like the one edge on the outside with holding down multiple layers of paper, and I probably should have done that the whole way around. I think that would have helped a little more with the buckling. And I also didn't really use the hair dryer to dry any of this, that probably would have helped if I would have used that a little bit more. I just didn't think about it, but, you know, oops. And so far, I will say I do really like the way that these watercolors work. And I'm definitely hoping that by the end of May, I will be pretty adept, at least, in using watercolor. Because I did struggle a little bit with it today, trying to do the whole painting in watercolor and get it to look exactly like I wanted it to. Really just trying to get used to how the pigment of the color is going to look once it's watered down and once I put it down on the paper. I didn't want to accidentally go in with anything too dark because, like I said, it wasn't a lifting color. The colors, they didn't seem to lift very much. So I didn't want to accidentally put something down too dark and then not be able to really go back and fix it. So I went really with light, thin layers first, just to kind of work my way up and see, you know, how it would show up once it dried on the paper. And once it, because I wasn't sure how, if it would dry darker, if it would dry lighter. It does seem to dry lighter when it dries. So you can see here I went in with some darker purple there because I really wanted, they were way too light. And I realized that once everything had really started to dry, that I wanted it to be a little bit darker. So I just kind of went in with the whole thing, covering it with just a whole layer almost of purple, only because it didn't lift, so I felt like I could go over that whole thing and it wouldn't have a problem, and it didn't. It worked really good for that. So, like I said, that is something that I wouldn't have been able to do with the Kuritakis if I would have tried to just lay watercolor on there, I feel like, and then just smear it over the top like I did, that I would have definitely got some bleed through with the colors underneath and it wouldn't have been as crisp. They would have just kind of bled around. So yeah, I'm very happy with the core watercolors. And of course, you know, I also am still using the metallic watercolors because they're just so awesome. So I'll be using that. I didn't use any of the gold leaf in this one just because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with it in this picture. So I left that out, but I will be using it at some point in this book, you know, I didn't use it today with this one. And like I said, time-wise, I was really trying to just get this one done. It took a lot longer than I thought it would. And yeah, that's it. And now just trying to get the audio done before it gets too late here, because it is pretty close to being May 2nd where I am. It's very, very soon. And I've already kind of gotten an idea of what I want to do for tomorrow's video and drawing. I've got it sketched out, so I have at least a little bit of a head start there for tomorrow morning. And tomorrow's prompt is seahorse, and I will be doing a mermaid riding a seahorse. So, yep, we'll be doing that. And like I said, hopefully it won't take as long. I'll be able to get it done and get the video up in a decent amount of time tomorrow.
Oh. What's the secret? There we go. Oh wait, this one messed up. Stairs are kind of infuriating sometimes. Wow, great corner stairs. So what's the secret here? Here we go. Just gotta work out a system that works, and just keep doing it forever. Never change. Now I could do this without these big inside beams, you know, without these. Wait a second.
And that is the tape coming off, and I am just finishing up the fine lines that I want to get in there. And I want to give a big shout out to Tremor's Art. They used one of the prompts that I did today for geode, and they did a video on YouTube as well. So I will leave a link to their video if you want to watch that one. I'll leave a link down in either the description or the comments below so you can check it out if you want to. And I can't wait to see, I know Harriet's going to do the prompt as well, so I can't wait to see what you do as well, Harriet. So thank you guys for participating in the first day of my prompt list. That's pretty cool. And Tremor's art turned out super cute, so you should definitely go check that out. And like I said, I can't wait to see what you do, Harriet. I'm sure it'll be cute too. So, all right. So I'm definitely thinking I'm going to be a little bit late with today's video. And if you're doing mermaid, let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to see what you're doing. So everybody have a great evening, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. And yeah, or morning or day, wherever you're at. All right. Thanks, everybody. Love you guys. Bye.